Evening, everybody. How we doing? How we doing? So, what the heck happened today? I took 3 trades, 2 L's, 1 loss, and then I went monkey brain. um, this honestly should have been just a winning day. I had a good read on the high time frame bias, and my bias ended up being right. All right. So I'm gonna try my best to go over today's price action in terms of what I wanted to see, what I was looking at, and what made me take the trades that I took. Which I'm not bad about taking the 2 losses and the 1 win. I'm mostly mad about me going monkey brain after the win, which put me on a loss for the day. Don't even get me started on it, okay? Um, this is why Top Step, whenever they came out with their lockup feature, has been like a game changer for so many traders because you're able to actually lock yourself out of your account. Like you can't take any more trades, and it feels good at times because like I remember when I first started trading with TopStep. I'm not trading with them anymore because I want to get the Trade connection to get the book map, no blah blah blah, all that stuff. Um, when I first started trading with them, it was like a game changer, honestly, because I remember there was this day, like I clearly remember a day where I knew I was like, okay, I had a moment of clarity. I'm like, I'm gonna look myself out. I'm done for the day. Like, this is enough of a loss. I think it was like 2 losses in a row, and I locked myself out. And then I was still looking at the charts, and I was like, okay, this looks good. And then I realized, oh wait, I locked myself out, and I immediately was like, I'm so thankful that I did. But anyways, that's pretty much it with that. Because if I had the lockout feature, this bull poop. I don't know if I can say this bullshit. uh, Hopefully it doesn't get taken down because of that. But this bullshit would not have happened. Um, but anyways, off right before market open, um, I realized that from yesterday's sell off, if you just look at like a 15-minute chart, that may look a bit cleaner. Um, just looking at a 50-minute chart, right? We had a support zone that we held once here, so we held it once there. We held it once right here. Kind of held it at first and then broke through it. So this was kind of a resistance zone that I marked out. Previous area of support turned into resistance, and yeah. After seeing that, I'm like, okay, cool. What's like, are we gonna sustain this move? Yes or no, right? And to me, I had some key levels marked out, right? I think I mentioned in previous videos that I wanted to keep the previous week point of control, the previous week value area high, Monday's low, and then also marked out previous low, right? So it's just like the sell off of this. What the hell? Oh, okay. It's right here. Cool. So yeah. That's pretty much it with that. Um, and I noticed we got below the previous week point of control and immediately recovered, right? And this was still the same day yesterday. So we recovered. We also recovered above Monday's low and previous week's value area high. And something that a friend mentioned to me that I'm like, that's pretty interesting. If you go to a 1 hour chart, right? He uses a lot of fibs. Um, if you go to a 1 hour chart and you look at this whole bull leg from when we retested this NWOG, which clearly held the support multiple times. Um, if you just look at that bull leg and you just look at a fib from there all the way up to here, we got into the 0.5618 area and wicked out of it, right? Not only that, if you zoom in, right, and you look at this leg, right, which is end of yesterday, overnight session of today, um, we actually same thing. Got to the 0.5618 area, wicked out of it, and we were recovering, and it was looking good. Even then, if you look at this is, yeah, this isn't showing that. So in the 5 minute, it looks like we're stalling out on this area. We get a reaction, retest it, and continue. And then off open, no, that's not open. This, this is open. So at open, we're at VWAP. So you're like, okay, in my eyes, I want it to be bullish for the day, right? So I knew previous day's range that was bearish, but the context overall seemed pretty bullish. Um, True Day Open is above us. It was traded through in London, but I wanted to keep it there because the stat is still relevant. Just because it gets traded through in London, it doesn't mean it's relevant. It just means the stat is a bit lower. Okay, um, but there's still a stat there, and it's like above 60%, I believe. Anyways, so yeah, price looked like it respected previous week's spread control. Plus it recovered above Monday's low and previous week's value area high. So it's kind of like a break and retest of previous week's value area high. We are also around the value area low of the current week. Okay, so if you look at the volume profile that I have drawn out here, this is a volume profile for the current week. If you see here, it's at Sunday open, so where we are now. So I'll keep this volume profile here till we actually finish the week, and then it'll be the next week after that, and so on. So yeah, that's pretty much it with that. And then you could also look at a volume profile for the session if you really want to. But yeah, it also looked like we were, we got below the value area low, immediately recovered, and it looks like we might actually push the value area high and push past it. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to see, and yeah, and then I kind of wanted to get a retrace. So like, once I saw this momentum, we're getting close to here. We were leaving low volume. Sorry about that. We were leaving low volume nodes on the way up, and I just wanted a retest. Just a retest of a low volume node. I knew it was a clear draw on liquidity. The clear draw was London high. Like, I didn't see us going all the way back down to previous day's low, because if we did, I wouldn't want to take a reversal trade out of that, because it's not necessarily at a key level, right? For me to think about a reversal trade, it would have to be all the way down here in this equal lows, 30-minute gap, unmitigated, previous week's value. Like, you have a bunch of confluences of the line. But here with previous day's low, it's just the single previous day's low. It's not that many confluences in your favor. You don't really have, I mean, you could see this as like a consolidation area, but to me, not as relevant. So, and if we got there with strong displacement, I wouldn't want to look for a reversal anyways. But yeah, who knows? Maybe I would have. It's not what happened today, so it's pretty irrelevant. But yeah, I remember telling my friends, like, I wish this would give me a retrace so I could take it towards London High. It would have been ideal if I got the retrace before True Day Open. And then I think there was a small retrace somewhere on here. I think this was a retrace at like 940. Yeah, I think this was what it was. Like, it was a very small retrace, but it wasn't like enough for me at least. It didn't get close enough to the low volume node. But yeah, we obviously are above New York VWAP because we opened and immediately went higher. Broke above overnight VWAP. We're breaking the value area high, breaking the upper, like, we're breaking everything. We're just displacing with a lot of strength. So I'm like, okay, cool. We've now reached a support zone. We've taken London high. Cool. What do we do next? Continue displacing higher, and then we wick this previous week's high, which has been traded through a couple times. It's held as support once, then we broke through it, held as resistance. So we did see some rejection here previously. I know there was this guy, I think it's like the Strong Trader, great guy, amazing trader. He pretty much top ticked this for like 80 points. And he knew, like, he even said, like, I know I'm fading the buyers, but I caught my piece of the pie and left, and that's what he did. He traded it towards VWAP, and that's what we got. But yeah, here is where I found one of my first trades, which I believe it was the candle after this. So yeah, I had a low volume node here marked out. So it was somewhere around here, I believe. Let me double check. I forgot. This is the 5 minute. So it's the one before. So it's this one over here. So maybe like something like this was the first trade that I took. And we'll kind of move this to the side because I know it's kind of annoying, but I don't want to keep that there because it's the last trade that I took. But had a low volume node here, and I saw, if I may, I think the first one was, let's see, this one. Yeah. So this was the first trade. This is what I saw inside the low volume node. You can see this is 9:08. This is Central Time actually. So 10:08 Eastern Time, New York time. So yeah, it was, I think, during the next candle. Maybe not this one, but the next one. Yeah, because the next one is the one that reached the low volume node. So in the formation of this candle is where I actually entered, and I had my stop at like 11:08, I believe. 11:08, and then I was targeting this 1 hour low. So right here, the 203.25. 203.25. Cool. I think it was just like a clear 203.25. What? What are you? Oh, my bad. Cool. 203.25. Yep. There we go. Alright. So that's what I was targeting. And I was targeting that 1 hour low. So kind of like a break and retest of that low is what I was expecting. Because it didn't quite have any draws on liquidity, like clear draws on liquidity. You could have marked out this. This would have worked out just fine. I just didn't see it at the time. But this was a pretty interesting one. It's at a resistance level. It's an intermediate high. So yeah, that's on me for not, waking up early enough to give myself time to kind of like analyze for those extra things. So yeah, bit unfortunate there, but it is what it is. And yeah. Anyways, this trade, if I show you the book map, what I was seeing on there is I saw buyers present. And something that I feel like I need more experience with is I need to get in like more. I feel like it's better if you see freaking, what's it called, failed selling followed by aggressive buying. This was just immediate aggressive buying. So something that I'm learning from Carmine Rosado is actually something that I just saw on a video today. Is cheers. Something that I saw today is if a move gets formed at a higher low because of an aggressive participant in the direction that it's moving. So like in this case, if a low is formed because aggressive buyings are showing at the low, then it's probably not gonna be the move, or it's gonna fail or something like that, or it's probably gonna get broken through in the future, which is exactly what ended up happening. But to me, this looked like a good confirmation. Turns out that's not good confirmation. Good confirmation would be failed selling followed by aggressive buying. So yeah, pretty interesting to learn about that, considering that I took this trade today, and it's something that I learned later in the day. And I mean, it's all good. It's a learning experience. So yeah, you live and you learn. And this got stopped out immediately. And funny enough, I'll actually show you the execution itself. Ooh. Where was this? Like, okay. So, I actually want to show you this really quick. I want you to see how, like, I got the reaction. Like, initially we wick that. Like, we wick the low volume node and the upper VWAP end. So I have two confluences in alignment. And also retesting London High as a break and retest. My water. And will it show? Or is it in the next handle? Yeah, it's in this next handle. Here, I just close it out. I closed it out early. I knew it was gonna fail. I knew it was gonna tap that VWAP. I knew my stop loss was really close, so I held myself. And this is where my next entry came up. Yeah. So we retest VWAP, get a good reaction, flip the candle that's currently printing. My entry wasn't the best, but it was still a good RR. I like the idea. It was still kind of like around that low volume node area, but it's with New York VWAP, which I really liked. Also, 382 of the New York range, and yeah, this looked good initially, and then I just ended up getting stopped out. Like it was looking like it was gonna push right here, and then it just didn't. So pretty unfortunate there. My next entry was 3-3 with a stop at the low. So something like this. And I got stopped out immediately. Boop. Cool. And you see it's so like respecting that low volume node because we worked that New York VWAP and we're holding the low volume node. But I think there was also another low volume node down there. Because if I show you the screenshot of what I was looking at, this was a low volume node that I have marked out. You can kind of see here. There's lower volume, not necessarily a clear low volume node of the entire session. But yeah, I also liked that we had failed selling. We retested it twice. 1, 2. So we retested that VWAP twice. And it's also like a couple ticks off that low volume node. So I'm like, probably going to get defended. And the fact that we actually got a lower low on price. You see this is a lower low. I drew this so it's kind of messy. But over here, we actually put in a higher high. A higher low. So we kind of curling there. And I like this. I'm actually fine with taking this loss because it's in alignment with my strategy. And yeah, I feel like it just would have been better if we actually got to this what's it called, to this low volume, but we just didn't. And it's all good. It's whatever. So I'm fine with that loss. The first one could have been a bit more patient. Yeah. Once again, it's hindsight, so it is what it is. Then we kind of get below VWAP, tap the 0.5 of the New York range. We actually tap that 2-day open, retest it, and we also tapped into a low volume node. You see how this looks perfect. Like, same thing as the last one, but in this case it actually got into the low volume node that I have marked out. Once again, you can kind of see it here that it's lower volume for the entire session, but it was like more like the intermediate range of aggressive buying. But we could get a clear failed selling here, failed selling here. We tried twice. CVD at around the same point. We even made a lower low on the CVD. Yet somehow we reversed an aggressive buyer step in. That's my entry. My entry was pretty dang clean. I'm not gonna lie. My entry was like 99.50. And look how this played out. This trade was dang near perfect. Like, the entry was clean. The stop loss made sense, or at least in my eyes, it made sense. Wanted to give it a bit of breathing room. Felt like if this was going to be the move, it was going to be pretty quick. I can't remember if it was based. I want to say it was based on the volume profile. Didn't quite have like a clear stop loss. If we look at here, 75. So like, yeah, I think I did it based on book map. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, that was pretty much it. And yeah, it was below this gap. So maybe you could have been like this. Still solid RR. If you go for even just the IB high break, that's a 2.59. If you went aggressive and actually put your stop loss, I don't know, maybe it gives you like 20 points. That's a 4R. I know a friend of mine actually had it like all the way down here. He had a pretty wide stop. I had no idea that's where he had his stop. When he said like, oh, this is a 2R, I'm like, what? This is a 4R for me. Like, what do you mean? Because I was aiming for that, once again, that 1 hour low. Kind of like an inflection point. So to me, that's a 4R. To me, this was a great freaking trade. We break the IB high. We actually closed above the IB high, so I really like that. And I think I actually went break even once this first candle printed. And the reason why I did that is if I show you bookmap here, you'll see my reason. We had an insane spike on the CVD. I was like, what the heck just happened? And my friends were also like, well, like, what happened? What happened? And I'm like, look at bookmap. See, like, what the heck is that? So because of this, I went break even. I kind of like that this was like, we had a lot of buyers that could defend before my break even point, so I was fine with where my break even was initially. And then we were really close to my TP, and then I also let myself get, what the hell? I let myself get influenced by what a friend of mine said. He's like, oh, aim for 220. I'm like, all right, bet. I'm gonna aim for the 0.3 then. So I extended my TP. I'm like, oh, bet that's a 5R. And then this happened. All this bullshit happened, right? At this point, you see this little block that I have right here. I actually marked out the wick, this wick right here, because I think when this wick formed, it was like very aggressive sell off and then immediately recovered. So it was like a very quick spike. I'm like, cool, I like that. So I wanted that wick to hold. And it kind of did in the sense that we didn't close below it. We did wick below it, but yeah. And then after this actually ended up hitting full TP. Oh, we actually did close below this low, but this would have hit my original TP, which was at 1 hour low before this aggressive sell-off. So I would have closed this at 11:30, about an hour into the trade, caught 100 points. I would have made back my loss and then some. My dumbass decided to close this somewhere around here, which was still a 2R, so I'm not mad about that. And when I closed this, I was actually break even for the day. I was like $40 in profit. And then my problem and something that I learned now is once I hit my limit, and my limit can either be, well, I guess my limit should really be, yeah, if my limit is 3 trades. I was thinking like if I hit DLL, but if I hit DLL, I'm gonna get locked out anyways. But if I hit my limit, and by my limit I mean 3 trades, whether that's 3 losses, or a loss, break even, and a win, whatever that is. If it's 3 trades, I'm done. walk away, go do something else. Like, actually step away from the charts and take a breather, because I didn't decide to do that. I kept looking at the charts. I stayed on the call with my friends. We're still in the trade. I had already closed out, and I even said, "Oh, I'm closing out here." Oh, I heard one of them say, "Okay, that's fine." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm break even for the day." He's like, "Cool, cool, cool. You made back your loss, blah 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 blah. Cool, awesome." My dumbass, once I saw this, so like once I actually saw price was doing this, and in the middle of this candle printing, it was looking strong initially. I decided to buy minis. Freaking minis. Not even micros, bro. Freaking minis. Like, there was no logic behind it. It might, like, only thought process was, we're gonna break out of here with strength. Like, we're actually finally pushing through the area where we failed to break through multiple times. We're gonna break through it with strength. There's not even, I wasn't even looking at bookmap. I did it off my phone. I think I was even away from my charts. I was trying to open bookmap, like, oh, how's this looking? How's this looking? Like, do we have buyers? Blah blah. Like, there was no logic behind it. Just no logic. Like, honestly, no freaking logic. Why? I don't know. I don't freaking know, bro. At this point, it's anybody's guess. Obviously, this happened, and then this happened. So, and I went like in with the first one. It was like I had my stop at the low of this candle, of that candle that broke the high. So it stopped me up pretty quick. And then after that, I had two more freaking minis, bro. I don't think, like, some people, including myself at this time, don't realize how heavy a mini is on a small account. On a small account, it's insanely over leveraged. On a small account, especially if you're not experienced in taking it off of, like, not clear structure and anything like that. And that, like, this is why I'm pissed about it, because my original trade idea worked. I closed out before it fully on like the idea fully developed, and I just got greedy. I was like, you know what? I can get some more profit out of this day. Like, I'm at break even. I can just take another trade, take the breakout. Excuse me for my language, but what a fucking idiot. Like, what the heck is this, bro? It's just. And then even after this, even after, like, it retested New York VWAP. If you extend these FIP levels to here, it's a perfect 382 tap. Look at it. It's a perfect wick. You could have even entered here. You're like, okay, cool. Let me put my stop here, all the way down here. 40-point stop. Let me just go for, let's say the 0.3. Let's say the 0.4, right? And we'll manage our position there, right? Pretty wide stop, pretty wide range, so it makes sense. 40-point stop, decent size stop in my opinion. We've clearly been respecting New York Fibs, clearly been respecting VWAP. Cool. What do? Okay, work that high. Okay, we're continuing higher. Okay, slow grind up. All right, see how we react. Okay, we're at the 0.2, seeing some rejection, but it's above it. Okay, maybe we'll try to break even here. We're actually seeing some rejection at the 0.2. Maybe we take a partial there. All right, retesting this level that we broke through. What happens here? Cool. Alright, let's wait and see. Maybe you trail to here, because we actually broke through this high, so this low could be protected. Might actually have to extend this. I don't think you get stopped out there. No, you don't, because it doesn't hit the low. Get some liquidity there. Can't remember. Okay, cool. There we go. I wasn't sure of the price actions. I was kind of hesitant, like, seeing how it actually unfolded, trying to, like, manage the position in real time. But yeah, If you trailed to here, you wouldn't have gotten stopped out, and you would have secured a 1-to-1, a little more than 1-to-1. So positive R, and if you trailed to there, you would not have gotten stopped out. So let's say you had your stop here, and then you trailed to here, you never got stopped out. Once you see this sweep, you're like, okay, let me trail to here. You don't get stopped out there. Once you see this breakout candle, you're like, okay, I'm gonna be a more aggressive trailing. Like, PA today was insanely clean, in my opinion. A lot of people might say like, poor PA, we just ripped higher up open, blah blah blah. This was a clean day. If you didn't fight the trend, you would have caught some clean trades. Me, on the other hand, I got greedy, and I paid the price for it. My account's in drawdown, right? I gotta recover that. I have like 3 more trades that I could take with my regular size, which is $200. That's all I can do. All I can do now is learn from the mistakes that I made today. So once I hit my limit, which is 3 trades, I'll step away from the freaking charts. Walk away. Like, just maybe go wash my face. I don't know. Step away, get some sunlight. Like, maybe even for 5 minutes, right? Refresh my mind. Maybe even take a walk and just record a voice memo of me saying, like, oh, this happened today. I took these trades, blah, blah, blah. Just do a mental recap, right? Or maybe even, like, something else completely different, right? Me personally, I usually go from trading session into my remote job, so it's kind of hard to like go do something that'll take a bunch of time, like going to the gym. It's something that I can't do in between trading and my job. Bit unfortunate. It'd be kind of nice, but it is what it is. So, lessons from today: if you have a trade that you know looks good, just do your best to manage it. Right? I don't think there was a clear reason for me to trail to this base here, mainly because what's it called? Mainly because we didn't break through the high with strength, and this is not necessarily a swing low, so it makes sense to keep your stop at break even here, like with this trade, and this was 99.25. Stop at 73. 73? 25, something like that. Yeah. So, this trade pretty much bottom ticked it, right? Did a great job at catching this trade. The problem with this, the only problem with this is, I think we also retested overnight on the 15-minute. At least got pretty close to it. Like, it wouldn't make sense to trail, but I could have even taken partials at a 1-3. I could have closed at a 1-3. Like, that's another thing that pisses me off. I don't know why. Like, look how much difference there is between this and this. Not that much of a difference. 398, like, it's nearly a 4R, and I didn't take partials. I could have taken partials and just leave a runner with stop at break even. Like, made most back of my losses. I was too focused on the money. Like, the mistakes that I made today it really pisses me off because I know I can do better, and I'm doing this for transparency, right? If I perform like shit, I gotta talk about it. So, yeah, just kind of went on a rant there. I feel like I tried my best to kind of just let it all out, kind of like let all my thoughts out and learn from it. So yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up for today. There's not much I can do or say other than that. So that wraps up the trade recap of the day. Hopefully tomorrow I'll come at you with a banger trade that helps me recover my drawdown. I'll take my piece of the pie and go. All right. If I don't do that, you have full rights to call me out and like call me any names, bro. Because like at this point, I deserve it. Sometimes I work pretty well when I'm with what's it called? Like whenever you get called names and stuff like that. That kind of a education approach. So might have to get yelled at by my mentor or something. I don't know. Shoot. It is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Did my job. Paid the price, and we move on. We'll do better. We'll do better next time. All right. So yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for today. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.